Happy Monday.
Sip Happens, episode 15.
15, hot off the press of just seeing each other in real life for the first time in a while. And somehow, I think the priority was actually seeing each other and hanging out. We didn't record a live in-person episode, but the time we had together was used well. So I'm happy we had that time.
Yeah, we could have easily pulled out our phones and done a little Riverside record
No,
live.
we needed some just friend time, fill up the love
Yeah.
tanks, just catch up,
So
proper
context,
catch-up
it was
time.
Stephanie's birthday. She turned 25 on Saturday. So
So
she's,
young.
she's still young there. But it was so
Yeah.
fun. It was supposed to be a surprise. Like Craig and I were supposed to just be at the bar and you walk in with Spencer and it's
Which
like,
is so impressive because I had no idea. You played it off. So you asked me last week on the episode so coyly, like, what are you up to? You texted me the morning we were supposed to meet and asked what we were up to. You were playing it off. However, unfortunately, my husband wasn't feeling well all week, literally all week. He finally went to urgent care on Thursday. We were supposed to go to the city Friday morning for this lovely staycation surprise. Thursday morning, he finally went to urgent care because he'd been just literally out of work all week, feverish, body aches, kidney stuff, like just not in a good place. And so he went and got meds on Thursday and woke up Friday feeling better. But I was like, dude, don't push it. Like, my birthday means nothing. Like, we can go any day and celebrate. We don't need to force this. And I said it so many times, he finally got fed up with me and was like, Steph and Craig are coming. They already have a sitter. We're not backing out of this. And I was like, I'm so excited. Thank you.
it was perfect New York summer weather. It's been
Oh
so
my
muggy.
gosh.
It was
It
one
was
of those days where
gorgeous.
it was no humidity, gorgeous 70s. We ate outside in the West Village, people watched, had a meandering
So
walk
lovely.
through Chelsea, back towards the hotel, kind of the
Ice cream
Hudson
pit
Yards.
stop. Stopped.
Great.
Did not get breast milk ice cream, but it
It was
was
at
Oddfellows.
Oddfellows, yeah. We
Yep.
didn't even ask them about it, though. I just kind of looked at the menu, and I'm like, this lady
I
doesn't seem.
color scanned to see if they had it for sale. It's strange to me that they wouldn't sell it in their parlors, ice cream parlors. But I guess, again,
Would you
as
have
we talked about last
would
time,
you have gotten it if they had
I would
it?
have asked for a taste.
I would have probably asked for a taste too. Give me some of
Yeah,
that
I would
breast
have
milk.
tried it. Maybe that's why they don't have it, because they know people are just going to come in and ask for a taste. Who knows?
I
But
don't
again,
know.
I don't know if this partnership was purposefully to sell breast milk ice cream or just as
Oh,
a
PR
gimmick and to
headline.
get press. Who knows? So, but
But it was so
it was
good. What a
lovely.
great little taste of New York and it was very short, but I felt my cup was filled. We had Russ and
Exactly.
Daughters for a great little bagel
Exactly.
in the morning, and it
It
wasn't
was so
annoying with
nice.
tourists. City felt empty in a great way, and I'm here
It
for
was
it.
nice. Yeah. And I think a lot of that was because, well, first of all, we went Friday to Saturday, which is nice. It wasn't a Saturday to Sunday. But also, school hasn't officially started yet in the city. So I think a lot of city folk were actually out of the city still, enjoying the last bit of their summer. So it was beautiful. And even afterwards, I asked my husband, I was like, are you good? Did that take a lot of energy out of you? And he was like, no, they're not friends that require a lot of social energy. It was lovely. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. That's great.
Well, you call him my husband, but Spencer. It's not like a secret that your husband, his name is Spencer. So
His name is Spencer. Yeah.
we spent an hour in deep analysis and conversation about
Yeah.
this
You didn't
podcast.
know.
And he should be the producer of this show. He
Yeah.
actually, like, honestly, because I've
He
never
is a
had
super
someone,
fan.
but it
Super, and
goes
not in
beyond
a I'm
fan.
proud of my wife kind of way. Like, yes, he's always very supportive of what I'm doing, but he is a super fan in a gets upset if we don't publish on time, asks where the podcast is, texts me throughout each episode as he's listening with feedback and notes saying, I lost your sound at this point. I wish I could hear Steph's story better at this point. You teased me with this bit of information and didn't tell us more. Like, he is fully invested in what we are doing. And your
Tell
husband is as
what?
well. But
No, he's
Craig
not.
said he's too anxious to listen, is what he said to.
Yes, he will not listen to this. No, and maybe he's a TikToker, so he consumes on
He
TikTok.
consumes
The
our
only
clips.
way he gets this content is by TikTok, which is he's never made one comment. He does not listen. I mean, I don't know.
He
Well,
said
we
it's because he's too nervous for us. He wants us to do well, so he's scared to listen. which,
Oh my
I mean, I
God.
get it. Cool. Makes sense.
I don't. I mean, I live with him. He talks to me enough. It's okay. But Spencer is always like, insult me, like include me, don't insult me. And these are
Yeah.
good pieces of feedback. And like,
Mm-hmm.
thought that we were too PR-y, or like even for me, like I definitely was a little bit more guarded and specific in our early choppier episodes. And he's like, just be real, like give up the dirt. Like you have so much dirt on situations. I'm like, well, maybe not too much dirt because I don't want to offend anyone here. He's like, but if you're not offending anyone, then it's, I'm like, it's good. It's good
Yeah,
feedback.
it's very helpful. His general overview is, I'm listening to you because I want to hear from you. So tell me everything. Don't hold back. Just give me the scoop, which we'll do. But I think the
Yeah.
more important podcast news this week is, and I forgot to ask you this. I know I asked you beforehand if you were going to listen to our newest episode or the New Heights episode first.
Oh,
Which did you listen to first?
New Heights. Like
You
I
did? I listened to
prioritized.
us first.
Oh my God, I prioritized that over like putting my child to bed.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so
Well,
funny
that's part
because
of your bedtime routine
well,
now,
that's part of
listening
my
to
routine
a New
anyway.
Heights podcast. Yeah.
But it's funny because I was texting, with some of my other friends who are like, I didn't know you were a Swiftie. And I think I've been in denial for so long, but I am. I think I'm a Swiftie. I
As
think,
you're wearing some Taylor Swift
yeah, like our
merch, the
merch,
shirt and all.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I'm so glad that we went to this. I was like, I'm
But I don't know that I would qualify. Like, you haven't pre-ordered the vinyl, have you?
I'm going to as soon as we get off this call. I just have not.
Okay.
I just have because
And right before we started recording this, she announced that there's 2 other versions of the vinyl available. So there's now 3 versions of the vinyl.
I'll take a look. I have my whole spiel on Taylor right now is I appreciate her so much from a brand perspective and like what she has done as like a singer, songwriter. Her performance on New Heights was a masterclass of how to show up, and it has this total veneer of polish, yet she was so relatable. And all of this is completely rehearsed, scripted. They have their shtick. They know their topics. You know exactly what they're going to do, but she does it in a way that comes off as like this is just a casual conversation between her future brother-in-law and her soon-to-be fiance, because I guarantee you it's coming. But it was completely, did you listen to it? Can we like
I
talk?
did.
But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but like Travis Kelce has this shtick where he's like, the big, dumb, handsome boyfriend, not understanding what Hamlet is. But actually, I had no idea that The Lion King is basically the story of Hamlet. Okay.
Who knew? Travis Kelce teaching
I
us
learned
things.
that.
Spencer knew, of course, because
Of
he
course
knows
he does,
random
because he's an
things.
encyclopedia and he's like the
But
MVP.
I think that it's worth, I criticize Taylor Swift,
Sure.
but I'll do it. I'll do it.
Sure.
And I don't even think it's a criticism. It's an observation. To me, now that we're in this world of podcasts and we've been doing this and we've been getting feedback on things and we've been learning as we've been going, it was very obvious to me that it was her first ever podcast. Because there were many moments, and I actually watched it on YouTube because I was so interested in seeing it. But there were a lot of things, and when I listened with my husband, because I listened with him as well, he listened to just the podcast. I had to explain to him certain gestures that she was doing and things that she was doing. Like there was one part where she was acting out, playing the piano and playing a guitar, where she is used to an audience being able to see her. And on a podcast, she doesn't have that. So it was very obvious to me that it was her first podcast and she wasn't used to not having an audience who could see her. But at the same time, it was also really interesting to see Jason in particular filling in that gap for her, because he is obviously a veteran podcaster at this point. And he, like when she picked up the briefcase, if you weren't watching, if you hadn't seen social media clips, if you're just listening to the podcast, he's describing it as though you can't see what's happening. He's going, okay, so we've got a sparkly briefcase. There's a TS on it. And it was just a really interesting observation that, oh, you literally have never done a podcast before. And that's something that we learned as we've gone with this, that your audience isn't seeing you.
All of that. No, I would counter all of that by saying, like, yes, it was her first pod, but as arguably, I'm an obsessive pod listener, because the medium has gone to such video first that a majority of people for a lot of these podcasts still are actually watching. So like Kylie Kelsey's, or even like Mel Robbins, or even Diary of a CEO.
This episode in particular, New Heights with Taylor Swift in particular, people were definitely consuming video-wise versus visual.
As we were talking, and 79 million views on Instagram, 379
Insane.
million views on Instagram, 61 million views on X, 34 million views on TikTok, 15 million views on YouTube, 1.3 million live viewers, plus 3 million followers on Instagram,
And
400K.
these are the statistics from our first podcast episode, right?
It's incredible. I cannot
That's
believe
insane.
how
That's
are we not sponsored
insane.
yet? Like, we've broken the internet. It's
It's
like, I don't
insane. Like
understand.
that, then those numbers are wild.
But I shared that 'cause I was actually looking to see, like, if there was a breakdown here on those stats, how many, like, viewer
Visual versus audio.
YouTube versus, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
what are they? iHeart? I forget what New Heights is. Wondery? I think it's Wondery 'cause that's what
Wonder,
kind of
yeah.
anyways, I just, I can get into the entire lore and one pod I encourage anyone else to listen to. So I love John Karamonica. He is a pop critic at the New York Times. One of my favorite podcasts is Popcast. They've done an amazing job
Great.
of just music commentary. And he did an emergency Taylor TS12
Of
breakdown
course. Yeah.
where he actually he broke down like her album announce and goes into each one of the tracks, but then also does this really incredible comparison between Taylor Swift and Drake and how Drake recently had a long form live pod with a similar type of goal in mind to come across as very I don't know. It was a very structured, very strategic type of, I don't know, way of showing up for Drake too. I'm not going to get into it because I can't eloquently talk about it the way that he did. But New York Times podcast, listen
Cool.
to it. And all I'm saying is there's going to be I bet there's Blake Lively diss tracks in there with Canceled. I bet there's something going on. There's like some lore going on about father figure, and it could be a nod to like George Michael and
Well, Jason already implied that one of the songs was about Travis. Obviously, she that wrote the entire thing. She said during this chapter of her life that's new and happy and poppy.
I'm
So there
sure
has to be Travis in there. He
it
was obviously a
naturally.
big part of that. So yeah, you know what? I'm excited about it. I love her music. It's fun. I think it'll be
Like, I get into this now. Like, that's how it's like, okay, like Swifty. Like, I never cared about unpacking all of these different pieces. And like, why do I care about this right now? I won't go down the rabbit hole of, her numerology and blah, 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 blah. But I'm so fascinated by her as a brand and a person and how she just shows up masterfully. And,
she's so smart, so
it's
savvy.
just so awesome to be a fly in the wall of her strategy sessions. Like, good Lord, get me in there. So
I love it.
we
Yeah,
can move on
it's
from
great.
Taylor, but she's like, that's the thing I'm like the most excited about right now is like all the Taylor Swift stuff. And
Yeah, but now what? Now we just kind of all sit around and wait until October 3rd.
yeah. What else? Yeah, no. I'm just in a music era right now. I've seen more music in the past 3 years than I not have in my life because I went through a drought, but I'm back. I'm like back and inspired by music, whether it's something like the
Good.
Eras Tour and Taylor. I'm going to go see My Morning Jacket, which is touring their 20th
So
anniversary,
fun.
one of their best albums. You've seen Stevie Nicks, who recently,
Dear girl.
my girl, she recently like fell and broke her collarbone or shoulder because she's like 1,000 years old, but I love her because she's
She's still
amazing.
going.
She's
Yeah.
still going. Um,
That's
yeah.
fantastic. Now, you know what I would love for you to tell all of our readers is how do we get 10 hours of sleep a night? As a mom, with projects, full schedule, taking care of yourself, how
I
are you
don't
pulling this
know.
off?
I know. And it happened. I didn't tell you this because I was like, I'm almost embarrassed because I'm like, this is embarrassing that I can do this.
It's amazing.
The Friday night after our dinner, that was the other beautiful thing about about our time together. It was so like low key and the best. It was like energizing but low key. Like
So easy.
I was home in the hotel room by like 10:15. Like I brought
Yeah.
my book. I'm like, who's gonna read a book in New York? I'm not gonna read a book.
Yeah.
I read like
Which
half
I
hour of
wish
my
you did
book
because
after
our
watching
rooms
Baby.
had these perfect little reading nooks. They were so like just whimsical. It was lovely. It was beautiful. I
I don't know.
think
Honestly,
I was going to say I think that pregnant body gets some of the credit because we would have probably consumed far more martinis and wine had I been participating in the consumption,
sure. I know we didn't even like,
which is
yeah,
always a recipe for a
but
later
it's
night.
good.
So,
But the
okay, so it's
sleep
just a
thing,
chill night and then but you have a routine. Like what is your sleep routine? You read
so
in
like
bed.
Yeah, but even like again, like Friday night, I think a lot of it has to do with my cycle. Like the type, if I'm in my
Okay.
luteal phase, like that also plays a big role. And so I think depending on like I usually have a ton of energy during my ovulation, which is, that's kind of natural. You
You're
get a
ready to
lot
get
of
it on. Yeah.
you have a lot of energy. It's also like peak for athletic performance. You're sleeping well. And then I have a really long luteal phase. And again, I've only discovered all of this in the past couple of years because I've never been so in tune with all of these things with trying to get pregnant, whereas before I never
Amazing.
cared. But yeah, sleep routine. Dream situation would be early dinner. If I'm having wine, it's all done early between, let's say, like the hours of 5 and 7:30, maybe 8,
Okay.
because the closer you're drinking towards bed just completely messes up your sleep cycle, and I
Yeah.
notice a
I notice
difference.
that all the time. Yeah.
So like, a glass of wine early if you want one, early dinner, and then um I don't know, depending, I have 2 gummies
Mile
I take
walk
every night.
home was nice.
That was
Moving
wonderful,
after
but I
dinner.
didn't take any
Yeah.
I so here's something else. Friday night, I cheated. I took a Unisom, so I think that helped, but I was kinda, like,
Okay.
nervous because not nervous, I don't know, it's like new hotel. Sometimes I can be sensitive to new environments. I had a martini, I had some wine. I was like, "I really wanna sleep. I hope this martini doesn't, like, fuck up my sleep." And so I took
Yeah.
that in prep, but not for 10 more hours.
Yeah. It's
So,
amazing.
I take 2 gummies, PSA to Charlotte's Web, if anyone is interested in exploring CBD. I really like a
Okay.
chill CBD gummy. There's one with melatonin that you can take. I also
Nice.
take a magnesium at night.
Okay.
I
So
like
did you took a Unisom, magnesium, and Charlotte's Web
no.
melatonin? Okay.
Well,
So you didn't
the
take those that night. Okay.
the combination specifically to my Friday night, 10 hours, was a martini, wine, pizza, Caesar salad, half of a hamburger,
It's my dream.
ice cream,
Yep.
walk home, but still I was in bed by it was, in bed by like 10:30, 11,
Yeah.
drinking a lot of water. I didn't even take magnesium that night, no gummies. I did take a Unisom, so the Unisom probably helped me. I
And
usually
10, I mean,
I
that's
don't think I did 10
dreamy.
on but, like, yeah, I did but the couple of nights prior, I don't know, I had a good workout.
I feel like you very consistently get a solid night's sleep though. And
I'm
I've always been someone who, no matter what time I go to bed, I'm up at 6:30. Like if I sleep to 7, it's amazing. It's phenomenal.
I mean, I'm fortunate in that, like, in the summer, we've been, like, the worst parents, and so our sleep routine is all over the place with Max. So Max has been going to sleep later, which means he's sleeping in later. And then sometimes, like, Craig doesn't sleep, and so it's wonderful, and I appreciate it. He's usually the default waker upper in the morning,
Morning
so he'll get
person.
up
Yeah.
before me if needed, or if I just wanna get up early and walk Lemon, I'll do that too. The sleep thing is, yeah, it's key. An eye mask. I have a big puffy silk eye mask that I sleep with.
Yep. Is it the drowsy one?
It's the Drowsy one, which I
Yeah, we
love,
have those. Love
and I
them.
have a sound machine, and it's
Yep.
a very specific type of sound because we all have our things.
Yep.
But, like, I've never been this high maintenance with sleep in my life.
Was your family a sleep welcoming family or a sleep shaming family? Like my
Welcoming.
family was a sleep shaming family where the
Like, "Oh,
morning
you can sleep
people who
when you're
woke up
dead?"
early were praised and the people who weren't morning people who had a hard time getting up in the morning were like the bad kids that needed fixing.
No. Never, no. It was like, whatever. Yeah, that was, like, never even remotely a thing.
That's
Um,
really nice.
if anything, I feel like with so when we get together with our big friend groups, the whole, like, Jane, Brent, Marissa, like, that whole crew,
Yeah.
like, I'm always, like, usually the last person up out of all of our friends. They're, like, downstairs
So
having
nice.
breakfast
Yeah.
with the kids. Like, Craig's up kinda helping, but, like, that's just I don't know, that's just what I do. I'll go and
Yeah.
walk Lemon. So no, I don't know why I thought it. I think I feel more guilty for sleeping in during, like, those occasions,
Just
but in the
missing out
family
on whatever else is
situation, no.
happening.
Kind
We were
of, or, like,
we were very much a sleep shaming family. Like if my dad was napping, my mom would be like, "Why are you napping? Wake up!" Like it was never sleeping was a bad thing. And I don't know. I'm assuming it came from their childhoods. I have no idea, but it was never something
like,
that
sleeping is laziness, or, like, if you're sleeping, you're
something.
not
Yeah, like if you're
gonna
sleeping,
do
you're not
better.
doing something important. Whereas in my head, I'm like, if you're sleeping, it's because you're tired and you need sleep, and like we should rest. And there's still parts of me where I notice that, like, if we're watching a movie on the couch with the whole family, my husband will doze off. I'm like, why is he sleeping? That's ridiculous. But I'm like, because he's tired. Like, he's allowed to sleep. That's fine. And so it's very hard to kind of snap out of the sleep shaming cycle. And just, I mean, obviously I don't want everyone staying in bed all day, but if we're sleeping an abnormal amount, or if we're tired, it's probably for a reason, and we should sleep and get rest, and our kids are growing and it's great to sleep, and just learning to adjust that perspective. And I didn't realize that it's a pretty, I wonder what the split is, but it seems like it's pretty 50-50 on people that grew up with a sleep shaming family and people that grew up with a sleep welcoming
I've never
family.
heard it phrased that way before. I never even thought of like there being sleep shame. I guess when
Oh,
you
yeah.
first said that, the first thing I thought of was like sleep guilt. And like the first thing I thought of was, oh, yeah, well, sometimes when I have big, I don't know, like when I'm with my other friends, like they're all up early, but it's also they're up a lot earlier than I am because they have two kids and they're a lot younger and they're waking up at 6. And
Yeah,
I don't
totally.
know, my kid's still sleeping. So I don't,
Yeah.
okay, I feel it's like faux guilt. I don't feel guilty, but it's like, oh, sorry,
You
but I'm
shouldn't
going to
feel
sleep.
guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at all. No, I am. It's more specific to just the way your immediate family unit treats sleep. Um, so it's a cycle that I'm definitely trying to break in our family, so that our kids are welcome to sleep and comfortable sleeping, and don't feel like embarrassed if they need to nap or don't want to stay up for a movie. I also grew up in a household where sitting still is very, very difficult. Not for me, but for parents. There's always, they have to do something. We have to have an activity. We have to do something. We have to, and that's very much not, I can just sit and chill. I can read a book. I can scroll. I can watch a movie. I can just go for a walk.
Hmm.
I don't have
Hmm.
to have a plan. And it still
Hmm.
exists, when people come to visit and they're like, well, what are we doing today? And we don't have a plan. We're at our house. We're just going to do whatever we want. We can do whatever comes up. So trying to just, and I think that a lot of that is hopefully reflective in our parenting style too, where we're okay if our kids are bored. My daughter all the time, what are we doing today? I don't know. What do you want to do? Can we play a game? Yeah, sure. What game do you want to play? Like, I don't have a plan for you. Let's make a plan if you need a plan.
That's a huge topic now, though. Is like kids don't know how to be bored anymore because they have such a, I mean,
So
which
much.
is, because you're constantly being, entertained and you have different devices and things to do. And it's like, remember those like good old days when you just go out into your cul-de-sac and I don't know, like I have crazy memories of growing up. It's the best, honestly, when it
Yeah,
was
all the
screen
kids on
free.
the street get together and just ride bikes, go back to the creek and just throw sticks and rocks. Like, yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. But it's kids not being bored and parents being more overprotective of like, oh, well, what if there's a murderer down by the creek while they're throwing rocks? I can't let my kid go down there unattended. They might get murdered. Or they might just throw rocks and have fun and then come back home. Like, yeah, I think there's a lot of different factors at play there. So our parenting style is very, um, like as hands off as we possibly can be. Like I'll let my kids do dangerous things carefully and I'll just sit and watch, Like I'm like, do what you gotta do. It's
I mean,
you
you want to
might
see if the knife is sharp? Go ahead, touch
yeah,
it.
you want to run with those scissors? Yeah, just be careful about it. No, but like I want them to learn and experience and try things. I mean, yesterday I sent you a picture. They were playing in the guest room. I don't need to be in there with them the entire time. And I heard something and I was like, why does it sound like rain? And we opened the door and they had pulled the entire bag of cat food and just dumped it everywhere. And so it sounded like rain falling, all of it. It was like a brand new bag of cat food. And I was like, uh-oh. And my daughter immediately starts crying, goes, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And we were like, dude, we just clean it up. It's fine. It's just cat food. Like she got so upset. And we're like, it's just cat food. It's fine. And those kind of things where I'm like, yeah, sometimes letting my kids be unattended means I'm going to have to clean up a pile of cat food. But like, that's cool. I'm okay making that parenting choice rather than not being able to sit and read my book and having to go in there and like stare at
Totally,
them 24/7.
totally, totally. Well, it's about to get a lot more complicated with numero trace along the way there.
He's coming. He is coming. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, you never know. I have so many people with 3 kids being like, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like this. Yeah, it's gonna be like what we make it. Like our family unit is very different than other people's family unit.
I feel like you were built for this in the best. I say that in the best way possible. Like you'll
I'm
manage it.
ready.
You'll figure it out. Yeah, I can't
I'm ready.
wait. Can't wait.
It's crazy. We're more than halfway through, almost to viability week, which is wild.
What's that? Viability week?
when the baby can survive outside the uterus at
Wow. What is
24
that? 20.
weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that's crazy. Even like 24
I know.
weeks. It's, scary. I hope it never comes to that, but
Oh yeah,
okay.
no, no, I'm
Well,
gonna
good,
keep
yeah.
keep keep it in a little longer. I'm gonna get a little bit cuter. I think at least 10% cuter. We'll see.
You guys gotta do something fun for your, anniversary this December to kind of as like oh, maybe unless it's here, unless he comes before
I
then.
know, unless he comes early. I mean, I just was telling my husband, so when we met you in the city this weekend, we stayed at the Pendry Manhattan, which is a beautiful luxury hotel that is part of my husband's hospitality group that he works with. And so I was looking at the other hotels in that group and was like, you know what? Like, you work with this group, we should take advantage and travel and visit some of these while we still can. Maybe plan a Babymoon around something. And I just texted him, we could go to Cabo for Labor Day weekend. They have openings at the hotel in Cabo. And I was like, why would we not go? It's
Denise,
the most ridiculous, significant discount. I know, like calling all babysitters, we're ready. So yeah, we're gonna do something. We're gonna take advantage and try to visit more
Labor
of
Day,
these
that's in,
spots.
like, a week. Would you
I know,
go?
and that's why I was shocked there was even availability.
Just look at flights. I bet actually flights like now, no one's going to Cabo. I bet you can find a pretty good flight down there.
Probably. Well, look, I,
I support
he's
this.
he's the travel decision maker because my brain is like half functioning, so I can't make any big purchases these days. Maybe I'm gonna catch up eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but we spent maybe like 20 minutes, Craig and I, on our drive home from being with you guys in the city, just singing. Spencer's like, he's just so awesome. And I know he's going to listen to this. And so, hi, Spencer. I know you're listening. Biggest fan. Again, I'm not going to call him a fan. He's a producer. He's a silent producer that needs to come on.
Yeah, yeah, silent
He's
producer. Yeah,
also he's like he knows he's like a jack of all trades, like a history
he's so
buff.
smart.
He's like a
He's so
parenting
smart.
he's a parenting expert. He knows everything about hospitality and like the bar industry and cocktail industry and restaurant industry. He's a former merchant marine and sailor. He can sail you
Hmm.
around the world on like a yacht or a sailboat.
He has
He's
his
a ski
pilot's
I was grilling him on
license.
his like ski instructor because I want to
Uh
buy
huh.
skis. And so he's like giving me these unbelievable knowledge dumps on what to do for boots. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but just tell me what to do and I
He
will
is the
do
greatest
it.
person to do bar trivia with. He knows everything about everything. It blows my mind. There's been one time that I've asked him a question. And he was like, I'm not sure. I was like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you know everything. I don't understand. You're supposed to know when I ask you questions.
But I feel like
He's
the
so
guy that
smart.
you could go on a road trip with. Like, I could probably go on a 6-hour car ride with him, and we could not talk for 3 hours, and it would be normal, and then we could just
Hmm.
gab for an hour, and that would be normal, you know?
Yeah,
Like, those are the people that you want to be friends with is
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, as you know, we were friends before we fell in love. That's how our love story started. He's a great guy.
But he also brought up the suggestion of for everyone, all of our dedicated listeners, our 3.2 million listeners, obviously, that we have out there, is a format for the show. So we started talking about it's actually really good themes. Like number one, what constitutes a season in a pod? Is it the number of
Mm-hmm.
episodes? Is it literally the seasonality? And we can dictate that. We dabbled with some guests, which we loved. You know, we want to continue to do
Yep.
that. We talked about format and structure. If we need a new news or if we need
Yep. Some
a,
sort of segments.
you know, Stefany Elliott, welcome to Sip Happens in the Color Daddy. You know, like just
Some
some
just
more things like
yeah.
this. And so we're getting merch to design our merch, which is
We are right
exciting.
now. We're
So,
just mostly talking about merch, but we promise we're eventually getting merch. It's like a rollover each week. It's coming.
I mean,
We were
I mean,
very close to getting Sip Happens tattoos this weekend, but
this
instead
is
got
true.
ice cream, which is a good pivot. I think that made sense. It was a good
I
pivot.
think that made sense. I think it was a good decision, but
But
that
they'll happen
also is coming.
eventually. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll
Hope
happen
we
eventually.
kind of have a very specific, not like trademarked logo, but like one that's like extremely ownable that we can have on
Yeah.
our body. We're really good about that. I feel
But you know what?
very
Spencer and I were
confident.
also talking about how you and I have very different tattoo style. Yours are so
Hmm.
artistic and detailed and beautiful and thoughtful. And mine are very sporadic and simple and like, I don't know, let's get some lines. Like very, very different styles. So it'll be funny when
But
we do finally get one together.
this our tattoo, I have a feeling is going to lean into your simplistic drawing vibe, just given the
Probably.
nature of what we're gonna get.
Probably. But I also think it doesn't, we don't have to get the same thing. Like the way Spencer and I always do it, it's like a theme. Like you could get a very artistic 3 olives, blue cheese stuffed, beautiful,
Mhm.
ornate glass martini.
So it's like that
And I
open
could
to
get a
interpretation.
simple, yeah, exactly. But just the same sip happens theme.
Oh, okay. I
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
this. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but choose your own, yeah, interpret it how you will in your own
We
style.
we
And
should post. We'll post pictures of our tattoos because it won't do them justice to give a tattoo tour right now. But I don't think they could be any more different in style unless one of us had colored tattoos. Then maybe they would be a little more different. But they're so different in style, and I love them. They fit us. They make
yeah, these
sense.
books are also, yeah, I have a dog. Yeah, yeah. Different.
Yeah,
Different
but
but
it's not
good.
just a dog. It's like a very detailed portrait of your dog. It's
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes, it is lemonade. There's
Not
only
just
one
like a
thing I wanted on
dog.
my body for my life, and it's my dog.
Dog and your hawk.
My dog and my hawk, my spirit animal. Which is so actually here's a really weird segue. But on my part of my like journey over the past few years has been exploring different layers of spirituality and kind of exploring like what that means. And I'm very, very attuned to nature. And I think in a different world I could have been, I don't know, whether it's a boot, I don't know. I don't want to go into
A
specifics,
shaman of
but
some sort.
I don't know. I just like I feel like the universe speaks to me through nature. And um I also have very I listen to a lot of different types of content and audio. I can do something like a Gabby Bernstein. I can do a, Danielle Laporte. I can do so I even like so I dabble even in like that kind of world a little bit. But then
Yeah.
I also listened to a really interesting episode on Diary of a CEO who I love, and he had on this woman who is a clinical psychologist or even psychiatrist, and basically her husband passed away and she now like wrote a book and is trying to prove that once we die, like your spirit or your energy just kind of goes into another kind of dimension or another level of consciousness.
Yeah.
And so I'm not educated enough and eloquent enough to speak on it. But basically, the idea was like kind of looking, I don't know, the question came up about looking for signs in the universe and how like what's the difference between like if it's like you buy a used car and then all of a sudden you see that used car like everywhere on the street because like your brain it's like
Yeah.
advertising.
Totally.
And I do believe that there is something to that where it's like, oh, if you're looking for a sign, I'm gonna look for a heart every day. And if I see a heart, I know like my grandma's
Absolutely.
speaking to
Yeah.
me. And it's like, well, a heart is kind of obvious. Like you might see a heart, it's a pretty common thing. But maybe if
Yeah.
you it's like, what's the difference between like looking for a sign from the universe or a sign or someone to speak to you versus just like coincidence? And just now that you're looking for it, you're gonna spot it, you're gonna see it.
You're just more
Um,
aware of that specific thing. Yeah.
yeah, but here's the thing. Like, so I haven't seen my hawk in So I live in the country, right? I have hawks everywhere, but like I haven't seen a hawk in, I don't know, over 35, 45 days, a long, long time. They migrated, they went somewhere else.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm walking on the trail yesterday and I'm walking lemon and I was feeling I was in a funk. I was just feeling funky about just, I don't know, life, work, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask the universe, like, am I on the right path? What's going on? I'm just going to like, I'm in
Throw it
that
out there.
mind
Yeah.
and, I'm like, okay, well, if I see my hawk in the next, like, today or tomorrow or in the next, couple of days, I haven't seen one in 45 days. Like, that's going to make me feel good. Like, universe still has my back. I'm headed in the direct direction. Today, I saw my hawk. So I'm just saying, I know that's like coincidence. I literally live in the country. There are hawks everywhere, but I haven't
You haven't
seen
seen it.
one, or I haven't
Yeah.
seen mine in 45 days ish. And I used to go to about like seeing one every day at least at the same
That's
time.
amazing.
That's my long-winded way of universe, looking for signs, spirituality. I don't know. I don't even call it spirituality, but just like,
Yeah, but even if it is a coincidence, if that's the vote of confidence and the support that you need in your life right now, you saw your hawk.
yeah,
You got it,
there you
you
go.
know? So don't let anyone tell you that's a coincidence. It doesn't matter. It is what you need it to be.
Like it's like yeah. And I think that in a lot of ways, that's also religion. Is like if you believe that and that makes you feel better, and I don't want to get in that conversation because there's a lot of bad things about religion, a lot of bad things.
Excuse me, as Spencer would say, include us, don't insult us. Why would you not get into that conversation? Our listeners might want to hear
Oh,
about it.
I don't know. Like
I
religion's
agree because
destroying
I
the
think
world.
that is
Or today,
the
religion is literally destroying the world. as we speak. It's literally destroying the
Sure,
world from fights and warfare and people going on religious attacks,
because it's their
using religious
beliefs.
belief yeah,
Hmm.
religious beliefs to impose on others.
In our
Yeah,
country, in other countries, yeah.
I mean, this
I
is
feel
coming
very
yeah,
strongly that religion is what you were just saying, that it's just believing what you need to believe to make yourself feel better, to have faith in something, whether it's a god, a hawk, a nature, whatever, whatever it is that you need to give yourself the support to get through your life and the hard days and the great days. I think that sort of my religious journey and spiritual journey came to a head when I had the realization that what I believe doesn't have to impact what other people believe. Like I can believe one thing and also still respect that someone believes something different. And I think that there's so many parts of religion and organized religion that teach otherwise, that this is the only right way and any other way is wrong. And I think that's the foundation of where all this hate and war and just evil is coming from, that humans need to learn that other humans are allowed to live their own life in a different way that doesn't look like theirs, and we can all just live our lives. That's cool.
yep, completely. Amen.
Well, we believe that on Sip Happens. So all are
We
welcome
believe
here.
that.
Whatever you believe, whatever you need to get through your day, we support you. Do what you got to do. Just be a good human. That's really sort of our ethos here. We love good humans.
I think that's yeah, just be kind to everyone. Doesn't matter what you think.
Those are the kind of people we're trying to raise. Those are the kind of people we're trying to be. So if we can use this, just casual conversations over eventual martinis, as a platform to spread good humans, great.
Belonging to the Church of Taylor Swift, belonging to the Church of Mohonk Preserve, like me, you can
We've
just
talked
do
about
what
this
you need to
before
do.
because I was raised in a very, very religious Christian household, and I still, there's things still ingrained in me. Like if I'm typing the word God in a text or something, I still capitalize the G because that's just ingrained in who I am. Like, oh, that's God. We have to put some respect on that name. Or, I'll say things like, I'll pray for you. I'm not someone who prays. I don't sit down on my hands and knees. I came from a family where we'd sit around on our hands and knees and say prayer and, really just be thoughtful about praying to God. And now if I say I'm going to pray for you, I think what that generally means is I'm going to put some time and energy into wishing you goodwill, whatever it is that you are asking for. If you are sick, I'm going to hope you are better. If you are going out for a job, I'm going to hope that this works out for you. And I am going to I'm going to take a moment in my day to actually like think about that and put that energy out into the world, because that's what I hope other people would do for me. And if that means for someone else actually getting down on their hands and knees and praying to their God for me, great. Thank you. I accept that. I appreciate that you took time and energy out of your day to do that. For you, if that means I'm going to go out on the trail and go for a walk and think about you while I'm in nature, thank you. Like whatever that means, I accept it. I want that energy, but I think that was a big part of, again, my spiritual journey, is realizing that praying for someone doesn't have to mean getting down on your hands and knees. And
I think that the idea of praying for someone is the one of the highest forms of like a compliment or gratitude. Like you are
respect,
actively thinking about another person and sending them positive energy, because I truly believe like we are literally made up of just we're stardust, right? We're like literally these energy compounds. Like all we have
literally,
is like our energy, our vibrations, our energy, and the type of energy you put out into to the world, I firmly believe is the energy that you get back. And I really, really buy into that entire idea about energy, and that's all we are.
totally.
I don't know. I also really like the idea of consciousness. Who was I? Oh no, I was talking to. Wait, was that you when I was talking about like we're just living in like a simulation? Oh no, it was my other friend Lindsay. So I was talking about since let's say 2016, or actually no, since COVID. Sorry, since COVID, we're actually all dead, and we're just now living in a simulation because
Sure.
reality right now is just like so insane with what's happening with leadership, politics,
Everything.
religion, the entire
Yeah,
world, that it's almost like yeah, this is a complete simulation, and we actually all died, and that was the pandemic that wiped out the world, but we are just in this new consciousness where we're living in a simulation. So you're actually not really pregnant, it's just
great.
fake, just so you know. Okay.
Great. It feels not fake, but great. Good to know. The crazy ninja attacks happening inside of me. No, it is. I mean, it's this is so as everyone who listens probably knows, Stephanie and I don't really come into this with any sort of plan or structure ever. We just sort of dive into our conversation and see where it goes. And I don't think anyone planned that it was going to go here, but I agree. I mean, we already know that we both agree on this that I always wish people one of my favorite ways of now saying I'll pray for you in a passive way is I hope you have the day you deserve because that's what I wish for people. Good day, bad day, whatever it is, I hope you have the day you deserve. The energy you're putting out, I hope that comes back to you.
As Taylor said, your energy is currency, and is, not everyone can afford it.
Very
Not
well
everyone has the
put.
capital to afford your time. And that is something that you and I are both very, very firm, massive believers in is our time is our love, our time is our energy, our time is our most valuable asset. We never get it back. The fact that we're doing this is how we spend our time. The most
It's a
important
conscious
thing you have.
choice. It is and the fact that
Yes,
people
ma'am.
are spending time listening to it is a choice and we are forever grateful.
Yes.
Yeah. On that note, cheers. I hope everyone has the day they deserve.
I love it. More to come.
See you next week.
Bye.